million. One in a 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 million. You know they're coming up to me, 'cause I'm just the kind of girl with this thing you cannot beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million. 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 I know it's me you see, for the shadow my reflection. The meaning of your being is you can't resist my nectar.
You've tuned into What's in Your Closet, presented by Sizewise Closet Coach. It's our bi-monthly online meetup where your closet intersects with style, sustainability, and technology. Have you ever looked in your full closet and said you had nothing to wear? Do you cringe at the thought of shopping? How about finding the right size? Guess what? You're not alone. You can make your wardrobe align perfectly with your lifestyle and values with our virtual closet audit services. You'll always have something to wear. If you're looking to revamp, declutter, or spice up your closet, you've come to the right place. Our chats are about style, sustainability, and confidence. Get comfy, grab your favorite beverage, and let's figure out how to create a wardrobe that works for you. Let the transformation begin.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining another episode of What's in Your Closet, where we help you transform your closet to fit your unique body and lifestyle. Joining us today is Alexander Starr and our reoccurring coach, Joy Green. And today, we're just going to cover the topics of sustainability and personal and professional style. So today, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our special guest and our coach, Joy.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much, as always, Damien, for a lovely and kind introduction. I'm excited to be here. It's Friday, and like we always promise you, we're going to be the highlight of your week, here to share with you fashion tips, suggestions, information. We got an amazing, very world-renowned guest today, Alex Starr, and I'm going to share a little bit about him. And like Damien said, you know, we're always focused on you becoming your most authentic self through fashion, but the most sustainable way, right? Thinking of the planet. I'm Joy Green. And for those of you that maybe are just watching in or catching the replay, I have a little bit over 20 years in the fashion industry. I was a runway model for many years. I own a fashion boutique, and now I get the opportunity to share my expertise and interview amazing guests with What's in Your Closet. So like Damien mentioned, our goal every time here is to make sure that you find your most authentic self through fashion, right? In the most sustainable way and with lots of fun. And I want to introduce you guys to who you're looking at right now. Alexander Starr is in the house.
Oh, what up, what
and
up?
A couple things about you, Alexander. I'm really excited because I've had your song, Lottie Deo, on replay all morning, getting me hyped up.
Let's go. I appreciate that.
Yes, yes. So everyone that is seeing the beautiful Alexander Starr here with us today, if you don't already know, he's an international musician, an artist. He's also featured in Fort Lauderdale, that's in Florida, as the artist that is actually giving us the anthem for Fort Lauderdale. So I'm so excited that you're here with us, Alexander. I know you told me to introduce you as Starr. I love that. What's up, Starr? Let us know who you are.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for that intro. And Joy Green called me beautiful, so I'm winning today. Absolutely winning. Yeah, I'm an artist. They call me an impact artist because the way that I write my music, I write it as a vehicle for positive change and uplifting humanity. So I keep it simple in that regard. I basically give hope while being dope. And I do a lot of interviews, but nobody's ever interviewed me about my fashion style. So this is exciting. I don't really want to know what to expect. Just hit me with it. Just hit me and we'll pivot.
I love that. Yes, yes, yes. And you know what? That's interesting you mentioned that, not only because star, right? That's a part of your name, and the fact that you're an entertainer, and a part of entertainment is the fashion, right? And being able to not just hear your artistry for your music, but the visual artistry that you represent on stage. So I want to get into that first of all, since you
Let's go.
said people are interviewing about your fashion. So I actually have some
Okay.
questions specifically about fashion, and I'm going to come back around to a little bit more about you. But
Okay.
since you mentioned the fashion piece, I want to ask you about that. So, about fashion, let me know first of all, who inspires you as far as your outfits and your costumes on stage?
Excellent question. Funny enough, I got my first real wisdom about fashion that I actually kept with me from a fortune cookie. And this is it's got to be like 10, 15 years ago. I was
love
at I was at a Japanese restaurant with my grandma, and I got a fortune cookie and it said simplicity and clarity should be your theme and dress.
Wow.
Simplicity and clarity. And I kind of like stuck with that, internalize it, keep it simple, because depending, obviously there are different occasions for different things, right? But yeah, simplicity is the easiest for me because I'm very ADD. I'm an overthinker. I go off on tangents. So if my outfit is doing too much at the same time, me doing too much plus the outfit doing too much, like,
It
turning,
feels off.
yeah.
I like that. I like that. Simplicity, clarity. It also comes through in your music. I have some dope quotes
Let's
that I
go.
wrote
Okay.
down from your songs.
Ooh, I like you already. Let's go.
I like you already. I was
Come on
watching
now.
your video. I was getting ready. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm about to hang out with Star today.
Let's go. Joy, you the real deal. Come on with it.
You the real deal too, Star. And I'm actually going to mention a quote that really speaks about that thought train. I'm in a free state of mind all of the time.
All day, all night.
Talk about that a little bit when it comes to how you're inspired through your music and how you're able to resonate with so many different audiences, especially because you're featured in a lot of different campaigns for like is it MCS cruise lines or MSC cruise lines?
MSC cruises, yeah.
MSC cruises, right? So these are international, world-renowned brands. Tell me about how you are inspired as a musician to speak to the masses.
That's a great question too. It's my coping mechanism as a multiracial, multi-faith background young man. When you're a kid, all the way up through like middle school, and like being able to sit at lunch tables with different crowds matters. I tried for a long time to sit at lunch tables just to kind of get like pushback, like you got to prove that you can sit at these tables. And it was kind of like I realized that I don't really need to sit at anyone's table. I'm gonna just cook at my own table, and I became comfortable with just being different because I'll always be, no matter what room I'm in, I'll never be homogenous. If regardless in life, whatever relationship I'm in, it'll be an interracial relationship because I am interracial by nature, right? So I have found my way of fitting in by realizing that I don't fit in with any one culture. I fit in with humans. So as a human, I write music to appeal to the humanity in people, because regardless of where you come from, where your background is or whatever, you bleed blood just like me. So I write about the human experience in a way that I hope other humans, regardless of where you're from, what your age is, what your background is, what your parents taught you, if you had parents, you didn't have parents, you still go through the same type of things that all other humans go through. So I just try to find clever ways of weaving that into my songwriting. So that's my inspiration as an artist is, even as a person, right? When I go around meeting people, I can talk to anybody because I feel like that's my only way of being able to talk to anybody is being able to relate to anybody. So I just find a way to relate.
I love that. I love that, Star. That actually speaks to me. Obviously, we're both artists, right, in our own right. Me in the fashion space, obviously, you in the artistry, musician, and as a fashionista, fashion guy, guru. But really, that spoke to me because it was really about being authentically you, right? And finding your passion through being authentically yourself. And I think that's really important. And it goes into the conversation about fashion, right? That's what size wise, that's what we're all about is finding your style that resonates with you, not just following the trends, not trying to fit in, like you said, about sitting with the lunch crowds in high school, right? We've all been there. Like you said, we
Yeah,
are all one to a certain extent, right? Like obviously we have different physical outer appearances, but we all bleed red blood. We all have the veins, And I feel like the music is always going to be universal, but then taking it that next step and wanting to be your most authentic self in your music so you get that true resignation, that's powerful. That's powerful,
absolutely.
Star.
I appreciate that analysis. And to go back to the line that you quoted, I'm in a free state of mind all the time. That's basically that's me telling myself that I'm simply free from judgment because a lot of people walk around in fear of being judged. And when you do that, you put shackles on yourself and you don't have mobility because
Yep.
you're always worried if I do this, people will think this. If I do this, people will think this. But when you stop caring and you just have a free state of mind, you'll realize that, okay, if you're doing something different, right? Let's say the first rapper to wear their hat backwards, right? People
Yeah.
are looking at them like, yo, you're not supposed to wear a hat. Oh, they talking and whispering and da da da. The people that are talking about you, not directly to you, don't matter. The people who matter are the ones who come up and ask you, why are you wearing your hat backwards? Okay, now you ask me why. Now we could talk because you're interested, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just do whatever interests you without really caring. And the people who are also interested by the little quirk that you're showing, those are the people that you should connect with.
That is so true. And, I just keep my mind, right? Those little conversations that always are going on in our mind. It just kind of circles me back to what size wise is all about. And I feel like this is such a great fit and a great conversation because it's about being authentic and sustainability and not trying um, to dip into so much outside of yourself. I think you mentioned that through the fortune cookies, simple,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
there's so much out there, so much influence, especially when it comes to fashion, right? And if we take the time to find out who we are, that resonates with ourselves on different levels, not just with entertainment, with fashion, with relationships, with opportunities, right? Just so much comes from being authentically yourself.
yeah,
So I want to ask you, because we have about 15 minutes left in the show. Time goes fast when you're having fun, right, Star?
yeah, 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 yeah.
I do want to ask you a little bit about, as an artist, there's a couple questions that relate to artistry and fashion.
Hmm.
And like I mentioned, I was listening to your song back to back, and I wanted you to share a little bit about the inspiration for the song Lottie Deo, because if anybody doesn't know about this song, it's the only other anthem for Fort Lauderdale since Elvis Presley. All right. Like, that's amazing. What other artist do you know that has an anthem for a whole freaking city? So, yeah, I want you to talk about that a little bit, Star, as we're, finishing up. Talk about that inspiration for Lottie Deo and talk about, the fashion behind that, right? Like what you saw in, the other people that were in your video and what inspired you in their fashion.
Yeah, I appreciate you. So, Lottie Dale came about when Visit Lauderdale, who's the official tourism bureau of not just Lauderdale. Lauderdale's in the name, but Visit Lauderdale represents all of Broward County. They call it Greater Fort Lauderdale, like
Okay.
how Greater Chicago is Chicago and all the suburbs,
Got it.
that sort of thing. So,
Like the
technically,
whole
it's
incorporation.
yeah, the whole of Broward County. This is the destination anthem. They asked me, can I write a song that they can use as an evergreen marketing engine to appeal to potential tourists?
Wow.
So can you write a song that encompasses the energy and the sunlight? And the slogan, the tagline is everyone under the sun. Visit Lauderdale, everyone under the sun. And I kind of represent that. I'm Black, Jewish, diverse. I'm out here amongst all the people of the world. Fort Lauderdale is kind of like a United Nations. Everybody lives here. But there's more people who ain't from here that came here than there are people who actually are from here. So it's kind of like you can, and a strong theme. Before it was called Lottie Deo, I actually called the song Color Out Loud, right? And it's still in there. I color out loud, repping my town for Lottie Deo. So Color Out Loud, where that phrase came from, is basically as a person, as an individual, as a spirit, we all beam certain palettes of color, right? As Alexander Starr, I beam certain palettes through my prism. Different prisms beam different colors when light hits it. And in this part of the world, in Greater Fort Lauderdale, you should be able to have a free state of mind and be who you are without fear of judgment or anything. So you come here and color out loud. Whatever your color palette is, beam that. Color out loud in Greater Fort Lauderdale. So that's kind of like, that was like the GPS that I wrote the song with, is everybody being able to color out loud here. It's safe here. Like, come be you.
Man, I love that. And what better song to represent, like you said, not only a place where all different races and colors and creeds come together to live, to commune, to grow, but also to vacation, right? Like that's an awesome theme song for vacation.
Appreciate
wow.
you. Appreciate you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I really appreciate that, Alexander. I mean, I think that, leaving that gym with people, right? Like coming together, coming to a place where you get to shine your own light. You can come to Fort Lauderdale and do that. And guess what, y'all? You could do that right where you're at, right? Don't forget that shining your own light can happen no matter where you're at, in your living room, at a friend's house, on vacation, in Fort Lauderdale. So yeah, that's exactly the anthem. And that's the theme that I felt as I was listening to that, right? Like, yeah, I'm ready to go to Fort Lauderdale and get on the beach. And it's just a great vibe to feel like, yes, I feel good in my skin. I feel good about who I am. So thank you, Alexander.
Thank you,
Before we leave, I want you to share, is there anything that you have coming up, any presentations, any performances you want to share with us, and any place that we can look for you and what's happening next?
For sure. So the hub for everything that I'm doing is just my name.com, alexanderstar.com. My band and I just got back off of our first Midwest tour. So now I'm kind of like resettling and I'm back heavy in the creative process. My brain is going crazy and I'm just making songs. So I got a lot of music that's coming out. Alexander Starr on all streaming platforms or whatever. But definitely just go to alexanderstar.com and you'll get a better understanding of what I do and where my impact has resonated. And that's where everything about me you'll find out.
Thank you so much, Alexander Starr. And I'm going to leave everyone this last quote before we take some questions for the audience. Sip life slow. Take that in. Sip life slow. Life moves fast. So thank you again, Alexander Starr. I appreciate your time and all your amazing star energy. And I want to go ahead and appreciate you. Segue into some questions. I saw them popping up. So I know Alexander got this party super started on our Friday, right? Making this true highlight of the end of our week. So I want to jump into the chat and I'm going to check out a couple questions. And I think we have some for you too, Alexander.
Go.
Do you have any fashion influences or icons that inspire your wardrobe choices, Alexander?
Ooh. Sort of. I mean, I was a lot more influenced in my younger years to do what other people are doing. So like, back in the day when, Nelly had the FUBU jersey on, that was like 6X, you know. And if you go back to my high school days, I don't got pictures of nothing, but all my clothes were huge. I would have 2 bandanas, 2 sweatbands with a wave cap, a 3X shirt over a
Crisscrossed
2X
up.
shirt. Yeah, just, you know, baby blue and gray, a baby blue tall tee over a gray tall tee that's one size bigger. So you see the little tail of the, you know, that's before I got that fortune cookie.
Yeah.
Now I just like finding really cool, unique statement pieces, right? Like I like finding that one thing. Everything about me gonna be plain, but it's gonna be that one thing that somebody's gonna notice and ask me about. So, like on the real tip, my strategy is whenever I go to stores, I go straight to the sale rack, right?
Yes.
I don't go for the brand new thing that they have on the mannequin because that's what everybody they advertising that to everybody. Come buy this. So somebody gonna
Exactly.
be wearing your shirt as soon as you step out of the store.
You
The
already
sale
know.
rack is where they keep the things that nobody knew what to do with.
Yep.
That's where you find the gems that like nobody knew what to do with that. So let me snatch that up. I'm gonna show y'all what to do with that, and I'm gonna
That's
figure
a
it out.
tip, y'all. That's
Yeah.
a tip.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, I think the same thing goes for like thrifting, right? But here's a key for thrifting, though. At least something that I found. You kind of got to be able to travel for this, right? But like when you thrift in the big city, it's different than if you go somewhere obscure and you thrift in the country. You'll find stuff that like, you know, because when you really think about it, like a mom and pop thrift shop is stuff that came from the people of that community. So like last week we were in Cleveland. So I'm like, I'm in a small thrift shop in Cleveland finding crazy stuff that I don't think I would ever find anywhere else in the world.
Cleveland, Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I went in like, I went to this one in the next stop of the tour, this place called Marblehead, Ohio. And there's this
Oh.
old lady with this huge, it's like a marina that she turned it like a boathouse that she turned into a thrift shop.
What?
Her husband was a Vietnam veteran that died like decades ago. And I think she's taken care of, right? Because she's a military wife, but she runs a thrift shop to pass her time. And the stuff that I found in there was just like ridiculously unique. Like I like stuff like that. I like finding stuff that I'm like, I don't care where I go, nobody's gonna have this.
Right.
Yeah.
Individual, that star quality, right?
Mhm. Yeah. So pardon me for tangenting, but yeah, I get excited about thrift finds.
No, we get excited about that too because that's part of what we do here since sustainability, right, through fashion and making choices that speak to who you are. And sometimes you got to go outside the trending to do that most times. So
Hmm.
we have one last question because we're getting close to the end of our show. I can't believe 30 minutes is already flying by.
Yeah.
But one question that's sitting here, and I think it's going to be really fun here. What are some of your go-to pieces, Alexander, that are in your closet that you cannot live without? Let's leave everybody with that.
Okay. So there's a bunch. It depends on the day, it depends on my location, it depends on how hot it is. So
Right.
in South Florida, where I reside, it gets really hot. So I keep it simple with
Steamy hot.
plain teas, right? I like teas. Let's say, for instance, like this one right here. I like this, right? The plain tee with this here, but what would make this shirt for me is if it had this repeated large on the back. That would make my day with this. It ain't got it.
Okay.
I like simplicity. I always got my Alexander Star hats, right?
I like
Boom.
that.
Yeah, I always got my logo hats, uh, all different colors. They go with everything. Um, I actually brought a couple pieces that I can like show you. I'm gonna show you one that I
Please.
found.
Yes, we got a few minutes. That's why
Yo,
we got you here.
yo, let's go. What do I want to show? Okay. All right. I found this one in the thrift shop.
Alexander came ready, y'all.
I came ready. I found this gold jacket in the thrift shop. My band is called Alexander Star and the Golden People.
Oh my goodness.
And I found this jacket.
Yes.
Ooh, this go
Oh, that is
crazy.
clean, especially in the light.
And when I don't feel like being gold, I could reverse it.
Oh, wait a minute.
This goes crazy. This is my new favorite piece. I can't overdo it.
Man.
This joint goes crazy.
Now, is that satin?
I don't know what it is, but it's really soft and lightweight. And the sleeves are like
Beautiful.
halfway sleeves, right? So I think they're made to roll up. You flip it
Yep.
up. You got the
The
gold right
3/4.
there. Yeah. Okay. So you know the terms for this. I don't know the terms.
Come on now. You
I
you
just
got an
know.
OG right here.
Yeah. Got the truncated sleeves on
Fashion OG. Oh my goodness. I
it.
love that coat. And look, if you ever decide that you don't want it anymore, you know who to share it with.
Ooh, ooh. So
That's
another
nice.
thing, I live in Florida, but my preference is cold weather clothes. Like I like going cold places. I got mad jackets that like I can't wear while I'm here, but when I travel, I like stuff like this. Hold up.
So this is your big coat weather jacket.
And it's not even heavy. It's just kind of like
Okay.
the long
That's
coat.
real clean.
Yeah, the gentleman joint. You know what I mean?
Very pea coat feel, kind of like that New York vibe.
Mm-hmm. I like this. I mean, I like going places and like having a mix of like urban and then classy. So
Yes.
like, you get on the elevator, people don't know what to expect. They're like, he's
I love
melanated. So I'm gonna feel what I feel about that. But look at that jacket. Look at that watch. Oh, you know, he's quirky.
those
I'm,
key
I'm
pieces. Those
yeah,
key pieces.
key piece.
Fashion statement starts with key pieces.
Exactly. But very few people ever see me without my cap. I always got an Alexander Stark cap on.
And I love it because it's actually exactly what you told us you were. Simple, but also in your own right, classy, right? That's
Yeah.
exactly what that hat is. I'm not a big hat person, but I think I'm gonna grab one of those off of your website just because on those days when I feel like putting on a baseball cap would be with the star.
I would love to see you rocking my cap. It'll look so good on you.
I'll have to get one of those. So you'll see me on your website grabbing that shortly.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, always love. Thank you so much, Alexander. So we're rolling up the last few minutes. I want to first just spend a couple seconds showing you much gratitude, Alexander, for sharing your authenticity, for sharing your fashion choices, for sharing, your inspiration. Because guess what? When we're inspired and we share that out, we're going to inspire another. So I know you inspired somebody else here today.
Appreciate
So thank you for that.
Thank you. I mean, I appreciate y'all having me, for valuing me. Like I said, this is my first, sort of fashion interview, and I like being interviewed about things that aren't run of the mill. You know what I mean? So this is really cool. I actually see a question up here that if we have a minute, I'll just run it real quick. How do you keep your closet
Yes.
organized, especially with your busy schedule and frequent travels? That's crazy. So like a day before I travel, like my tour last week, I literally arrange all my outfits. I say on this day I'm doing this, so I need 2 outfits for this day. On this day I'm doing this. On this day I'm doing this. So I structure my Monday through Sunday of what I'm gonna wear based on where I'm gonna be, what I have to do, and then I'll kind of like put a couple free floaters in there just in case something switches. But like I always have to have an understanding of what am I stepping into. Yeah,
Yes. Especially with weather, right? Like you said.
yeah, yeah.
Weather. Yes. Well, I think that was a perfect explanation. Like you said, I want to share this quickly, but it's perfect, right? You start with the end in mind. I think that's a lot of what we do, right? If we start with the end in mind, pull it
Yeah.
together, it all works out good. So that's a perfect tip for us.
Put the
Thank
destination
you
in
for
your GPS and then, let your spirit chart the route.
That's right. I love that. Um, you know, I want to say thank you again. I love this last quote that I wrote down like 5 or 6 quotes. So when I'm telling you I was feeling your songs, Alexander, before we have like 30 seconds left, I just want to leave people with you guys. Stay in that free state of mind all of the time, because that's going to give you the opportunity to really feel yourself, right? And that's what we talk about on What's in Your Closet, right? Giving you opportunities to Be authentically you, but through fashion, discovering your personal style, relating it to sustainability, right? Sustainability is so important for the future, for the now, and confidence, right? You don't have to stay trendy to feel confident. Confidence is built through understanding yourself and then finding out what's in your closet that speaks to your personality. Thank you so much, Alexander. You're a gem. I appreciate you. And thank you, audience. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for joining us.
Holla.
Thanks for being a part of our community. We hope you're leaving with inspiration, actionable tips, and a renewed sense of purpose. Keep in mind, we do this twice a month, and we'd love to see you again. If you enjoyed today's chat, please share and follow us to stay updated on all our future sessions. Until next time, keep styling, keep smiling, and remember, your closet is a canvas and you are the artist.